First, let's go to our exclusive guest, the deceased woman's sister, Jessica Josephson. Jessica, first of all, my deepest condolences. I am so sorry you are going through this complete and utter nightmare. We want to help solve. Maybe there's somebody out there who knows something, and we want to urge them to call in. So tell us about your sister. She's described as a very well-liked neighbor. Her record is absolutely squeaky clean, nothing. You know, she's a mother, she's a wife, she coaches basketball, is my understanding, and she jogs. Does she have any enemies? Who would want to do something like this?
No, we don't. She doesn't have any enemies. She's well loved in the community. Everybody loved her friends, her family, the patients she took care of. She's an amazing woman. Amazing.
Now, did she have a regular schedule where she would go jogging and take this path? Because that's what we're reading in published reports.
It wasn't a regular, like every day that she would go that, you know, go for a run, but she was active. She would go biking. Her and her daughter would go out walking. She would go running from time to time. When she ran, she had a route. You know, she would go that way and to a certain street and turn around and come home.
And I understand that where this happened, according to one neighbor, is kind of at the start of where there's a patch of no homes.
Yes, yeah.
So somebody sees her jogging in an area where there are no homes, and essentially, and I hesitate to use this word, I know this is very, very painful for you, kind of, you know, executes her, and we don't know why. Now, let's ask this question. When was the last time you spoke to her, and how was she feeling? Was she happy? She's married. She has a beautiful 11-year-old daughter. What was going on with her?
Nothing was going on with her. Like we said, she's always happy. You know, she never had an issue with anybody. I don't know the exact time I spoke with her last, but, you know, every time I talked to her, it was always, you know, what are you doing? You want to come over, you know, planning something or just hanging out? You know, always upbeat, never down about anything. She had no worries, no enemies, no problems at home, nothing. She was always happy.
Had she been married? I understand her husband is a Boilermaker by trade, and he was out of town with their 11-year-old daughter at the time. Do you know what he was doing out of town?
They were mowing a field. They were going camping. You know, they were preparing for that.
What? No, he's out. You know, he's out of the county, and you're saying he's mowing a field.
They were going camping, you know, up there, and you know, getting ready for the holiday weekend.
Okay,
you know, it was his uncle's cabin,
and he was helping out by mowing at the uncle's cabin.
Yeah. Him and his daughter had went up, you know, take care of the land, get it ready for everybody. All her friends, you know, everybody was going camping for the holiday.
So, in other words, that's an area where the family normally goes. And he had gone up earlier as we're approaching the July 4th holiday to kind of get the place ready for the rest of the family who would have like a family gathering?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
And, you know, I just asked this because we just have to look at all aspects. How was their marriage? Everything good in that area?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, good marriage. He's a good man, a good father. She loves him dearly.
And
she, you know, she do everything. She held this, you know, household together. She did everything.
Well, then there's absolutely no explanation that anybody could think of. As one relative said, there is no explanation that makes any sense. Do you have any theories about what happened to your precious sister, Jessica?
I have no theory. It's just an awful thing for somebody to do to anybody, you know, let alone my sister. Just horrible, absolutely horrible.
She has an 11-year-old daughter. How is the family dealing with that? How are they explaining this?
You know, from an 11-year-old child's point of view, you know, she's surrounded by friends, her cousins, you know, she's handling it, I think, well for a child her age. You know, it will be something she will deal with the rest of her life.
Did your sister have any ex-boyfriends from the past who may have been obsessed with her? Did she have any financial or business dealings?
No. She's been with Kevin for almost 20 years. They married, this year would have been their 5th wedding anniversary. There's nothing like that. No.
And his business is no lawsuits, nobody would want to target her to get back at him?
No. They're, like I said, they're both well known throughout the community. He's a wonderful man. He doesn't have any qualms with anybody.
What would you say to the person who did this? This was a shot to the head, at least one, and I'm going to talk to the undersheriff, Daniel Stout, in a second, who's been kind enough to wait as we speak with you. A shot to the head, the last I heard, they don't know if it's 2 bullets or 1 because there's an entry and an exit wound, and I hate to be so graphic, but what would you say to the person who gunned down your precious sister?
Honestly, I have no words. I mean, come forward. What you did was wrong. You took a life way too soon. She had a whole life ahead of her. How dare you do this to anybody? It's unfair. It is unfair.
My last question is, were there any financial problems with the family?
No, they're fine. They have everything and anything they could ever want or need.
And I just try to cover all the bases just to try to figure out, you've been so kind to answer all these questions, but it's a total mystery.